Hold it too, if you want.
All right.
Get the hood on.
So you got a hive 8 years ago from a girlfriend, and you just you became fascinated with it, with how it all works and everything.
Yeah.
He's not even going to put his hat on.
Well, maybe I'll have it there. I might need to, but I'll only put it on if I need to.
I feel like how do you know if you'll need to? Do they act aggressive or something, and you'll say, "Eat"?
Well, they're mellow and they're nice, but you know, if I walked into your house and started looking around through your fridge and taking your beer, at a certain point, like, get out of here.
Okay.
So,
but if do they recognize your smell?
Some beekeepers think they do. I disagree with that.
Okay.
I mean, I wish they did. It's kind of a nice thought.
Yeah, you just know what you're doing. Okay. I feel like that's like alien. This is awesome. I know, like we're in the astronauts. You need to make petite.
Maybe Tracy.
Feel
Wendy.
safe?
No.
Look at some bees.
Oh, I gotta pee, Noel.
Wait.
Yeah, you have to wait. I don't have any phone, so someone's got to take some pictures and send them. Okay.
Well, actually, let me grab my phone.
Oh, I was gonna say, do you have your phone, Tracy? Yeah, I just put it in my pocket. Like, when was the Dude Ranch here?
That I couldn't tell you. I think so. My guess would be about the 70s.
Okay.
Maybe even a little later.
Has Miraval been here since that?
Oh, Miraval was only about 20 years old.
20? Oh, that's right. My esthetician told me that today.
Yeah, it's just had the 20th anniversary.
How big is this property?
Actually, no. We're going to it. Property, I think, is about 500 acres.
500? Okay.
We're at the very southern edge of it. Okay. So as a matter of fact, you see the fence just to the south here? That's our property line.
Oh, okay.
So that field beyond the fence is our neighbors.
Okay. So when I asked you if you have to go check on them, and you said not as much if it's not summer. When you check on them, what are you looking for?
We're making sure they still have clean and healthy. We're making sure they have enough food.
Okay.
And so we're going to this hive right here. One thing to look out for, we have a little prairie dog here called a ground squirrel that'll dig holes that'll pop up unexpectedly sometimes. So just be careful where you're putting your feet.
Okay.
You don't want anybody twisting an ankle. I mean, it's not like we're walking through a minefield or anything.
Okay.
Just something to be thoughtful.
They're not going to eat us. It's just them.
No.
They don't like us. They don't want us.
So you're going to see best if you're over here. Okay. You can get right up to it.
Because we're protected.
You are protected. Let me make sure I have this ready to go.
Okay, so do they sense us here and they're like, what's happening?
Not at the moment, no. I mean, they're probably aware, but we're barely registering.
Okay.
The thing about like bees, it takes a lot of energy. Well, A, they die if they sting you. B, it disrupts their day-to-day activities. All they want to do is just get some nectar and turn it into honey. That is what they live for entirely. So they don't want to divert any energy from that unless they really feel threatened.
Okay.
If we're walking around, they don't. Now, when I open this, maybe they will. But I mean, it's not like there's going to be some cloud of bees trying to kill us. I might have to put my hood on would be the worst that would happen.
Why do people say there was a swarm of bees chasing me? Because they like...
Because they're exaggerating.
Okay. Oh, wow. Can I come up to it?
Yeah, get right in there.
So these are all women doing their job.
They're all ladies working away.
That is so cool.
I'm so glad I got this hood.
So why are some of them a little bit darker in color?
They have 30 different fathers.
That's right. Oh, yes.
They all have the same
They're all
mom.
different colors. Okay, look at you touching that, and you're... See, we're under the false assumption that bees sting us because we touch them. They won't. That and they're touching you, and they're not stinging you because you're not threatening to them.
Pretty much. Well, plus, they just don't have a need.
Because they die and make those honeycombs.
With their body.
That is so freaking awesome.
So they made all of that that's inside there.
Yes.
I feel like I'm gonna get in the hood.
I know.
I know, I feel like they're flying at me and I need to be like,
No. Trust me, if I'm not wearing my hood, you have nothing to worry
I'm
about.
not
Even if I
afraid
put
of
my
it.
hood on, it doesn't mean that you have something to worry about.
Yeah.
But if I don't have my hood on, you absolutely have nothing to worry about. And these suits, like I said, they're the best money can buy.
What are you looking for that would cause you to put your hood up?
Well, a couple things. They'd be bumping me in the face.
Okay.
Bees, because remember, they die if they sting, right? So generally speaking, they want to. They're happy to warn you off. It's like a rattlesnake.
Oh, gotcha.
The whole reason why a rattlesnake has rattles is because it doesn't want to bite you.
Okay.
Right? Like if a rattlesnake wanted to bite you, it would be silent and stealthy. It would sneak up on you and bite you on the heel, right?
It makes noise
So the whole
I'm...
to say, hey, look, you're not worth my trouble. So long as you back off, like we're good. So it tries to warn you at first. So bees generally they'll kind of bump you in the head as a rule first. Not always, but generally they will. You also hear a higher pitch. You hear this just kind of like that's the sound of a happy hive. If you hear a that's a bee that's agitated and feels defensive, and they actually sting.
They sting us because we step on them and stuff. Like if you're walking in the grass and
Yes.
you get... I've got stung by a bee before on my foot because I stepped on it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so in that circumstance, like if you have a bee like on a soda and you pick it up and you put pressure on the bee's body, the bee will sting you. That's the only circumstance really that's going to inspire a bee to do that.
are there babies in the hive? Like,
This is not. So where we are, this is just honey right here.
but why does it look
Darker. Why is around there? Can I touch it like that?
Yeah.
Why is that dark right there?
So that's honey.
What is that? Wait, is that a dead one? Where's its head? Or is it in the hive?
All right. They're just gobbling up honey.
So it puts its whole head in there.
Yeah.
They're eating. Because you see that one I'm talking about with half its body's in there?
Yeah. They're just gobbling up a little honey. That's it. Just having a snack. So this, remember, honey is very dry, right? It's so dry that it can absorb moisture back from the air.
Okay.
If it absorbs enough moisture back from the air, then it can ferment. It can actually rot and spoil. So, the same way that when your grandmother would take peaches and can them, they had to remain sealed. As long as they remain sealed, it's okay, right?
Right.
So, they actually will create a wax cap. I'm going to do something to show you. This is going to look scary, but it's not.
Okay.
We're all
backing up.
we don't need to. Okay.
Okay.
So, if you're a conventional beekeeper, you want to get your bees off your comb, you spray them with a repellent they don't like and drive them down into the lower areas. If you're a natural beekeeper, all you have to do, again, I promise you this is not scary, all you have to do is shake them right off. All right, but with this, I can show you
They're just saying, hey,
much
dude.
better what's happening here. So, this right here,
Yes.
that's dark because it's sealed, that's honey.
Oh
That is
God.
so cool. Did you get that, Daniel?
Oh, there's
That's
bees
good.
on there and you're licking it.
Yeah,
tongue is
so
stung.
you can actually just scrape it right off.
And they'll take it back and do it.
You will see before we're gone, all that honey. See, you want to see a bee mouth? Who said that they had
I
seen
want to see a
mouth?
bee mouth.
So you can see the bee has this proboscis. You can see better from this angle.
It's got a sticker.
And you see that's
It's
its
like a
tongue
honey. It's like a hummingbird.
sucking up the honey.
No way.
Right there.
Can
As they're
I
collecting honey.
peek in there?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, no, why is there a hole at the bottom?
Well, they got to be able to get in and out.
But so they go in like that and come up, but you took the lid off is why they're at the top. But so they'll be all in there, but that's the entrance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So these bees, like if they came and went through that entrance.
Got it.
So cool.
And there's somebody who sits down there and says, hey, wait, hey, you're not from our hive.
Yeah, bingo.
Okay.
Exactly.
He's the guard.
You'll actually even see like bees just standing here, and as bees land here, like these bees are just waiting here, and they will smell the bees as they're coming back to make sure that it's bees from their own.
Okay, the way you did that with that honey, is that how do you get the honey from the combs? Like if you're ready to...
So I do it very differently than a
Harvest or
conventional
whatever.
producer would do it. If you're a conventional producer, you take this, you cut all the caps off when this is totally full of honey. Then you put it in a centrifuge, you spin the honey out.
Spin it. Okay.
Now it's not an awful way to do it, not a great way to do it. It's just not how I do it. But
Okay.
when I harvest the honey, I'll take this, I'll cut out the entire comb.
Okay.
I will mash it up, I'll put it in a sieve and just drain it into a jar. That's it.
Wow. Okay, look at this one. Do they go in order of anything? This is full of... Okay.
Yes. I will put this back in the exact... We'll move things around a little bit, but I'll make sure that this goes back in the place that it
Can
came
you
from.
take
Why?
a picture of me holding that?
Absolutely.
Why?
Well, actually, I'll tell you what. Let's get one that has more bees on it.
Okay.
Better picture.
Why?
So we'll come back to that in just a moment.
Why would you
We'll
put
get to
that back?
picture.
Will they be confused? Because they're smart. Why would you put it right back there?
Mostly because they actually build the next comb relative to
order?
what the next comb is.
Honey, come look at this one.
Yeah,
it is
that one's
full.
So because they kind of shape the surfaces to fit, like
No
puzzle
way.
pieces. Yeah, so if I were to turn this around even, it
They-
would kind of mess that up.
No.
I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but it's just bad. They set it up that way. So I want to go into your house
okay,
and move
sure.
your furniture
Furniture
around.
around.
You know, I'd put it back where it was, right?
Okay.
I wonder why there's this concentration.
Because that's where the honey was.
Oh,
so they're
yes.
gobbling up
Isn't
that
that
honey.
cool?
You see that honey's almost entirely gone right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that is so cool. When
Yes.
that will that push out and then they can't go in there anymore? Will it be so full that it won't be able to get?
The fundamental principle to all of modern beekeeping is this concept called bee space. What bee space means is that bees will build, remember they have to keep a constant temperature inside of the colony. Actually, to raise babies it has to be at least 92 degrees, so it's even hotter. So they hate dead air, because dead air they have to heat and they have to cool, and it's just inefficient, right?
Okay.
So they will always build this comb. This explains actually what I was telling you earlier about the order
sure.
too. They will always build, when they're building this comb, they will build it exactly 3/8 of an inch, which we call bee space, off of the surface of this
No
comb.
way.
And the reason why they do this is because bee space, what it means is it's the exact space for two bees. One bee to be working on the surface of this comb,
Bull.
and another bee, pure truth,
didn't know that.
another bee working the surface of this comb.
So
They don't bump into each other, but where there is no wasted space.
So they
Wow.
touch.
Oh my
That
gosh.
they don't hit each other and say, move out of the way.
But they're not touching, basically. It's like you and me
It's the
walking
way-
past each other, but if it was just like if you were this
Wow.
close.
That is so
Makes sense?
freaking awesome. I'm
And it's
buying
the
that.
most efficient use of space
I'm
they have
buying
inside
that
of the colony.
Bees
Makes
for
sense?
Dummies. I saw that
So,
Bees for Dummies.
That's
book.
actually a good one.
I'm buying that.
So this right here, so I've already shown
That
you
is
the honey, right?
cool.
Um, if
What
you
is
see
that?
here
What is that?
where it's kind of glistening,
Yes.
so remember, it starts out 80% moisture and ends up 18% or less. So that is nectar that's not dry enough to be honey and be worth capping yet. So it's going to be thinner.
Okay.
So that might be 40% moisture, might be 60%
That
moisture.
is super
And actually,
awesome.
let's see, sometimes it's even kind of like more runny.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
Okay,
are they
so
going to
it's-
be
it's a
pissed
little
off at
thinner.
you that you dug that out? They're
No.
going to redo
They'll
it.
build it right back to what it was.
Okay, look, did you dig that out right there?
Yeah, that's what I did for another
Already-
class.
It's already,
And they're already
and look,
rebuilding it.
Look at that. They're
Yeah,
all
they're just gobbling up the
congregated to
honey.
where that is so cool. That is so
And now they're over there
cool.
sucking
So
that up.
okay, so
And that's
so
gone. Look.
when did you clean this out? Like how long did it take them to fill this completely up?
It depends entirely on season, and also, I mean, like some years are good and some years aren't. Some years we
Yeah.
get a lot of rain.
Okay.
The way that it works with flowers, it's all dependent on rain. You know, April showers
Yeah.
bring May flowers,
Yes,
right?
and if
That's
you
how it really
dry,
works. So, if we get a good wet winter, we get a great crop of spring wildflowers.
Okay.
And if we don't get a good wet winter, then we don't get nearly as much honey. And some years, like, you don't even harvest any honey at all because you got to leave it all for the bees.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yes, because they need to eat. If you don't give them enough, they're
gonna
they'll die.
So we are going to harvest or pull out one comb that's going to be just chock full of bees.
I want to
so
see the
that we
queen.
can.
Okay, so where does the
I can't
queen?
promise
But
that.
where does she
Why?
live in the
How would
comb?
we know
in the
that we
hive?
saw her?
So the queen. she lays eggs, right?
Uh-huh.
So remember, for babies, it has to be even hotter than the 55 degrees. It has to be at least 92. It's easiest to keep the babies warm if they keep them in the center of the colony
Okay.
and they ball around them.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So if you're looking at a colony or a hive in three-dimensional space,
Uh-huh.
top's almost always going to be honey.
Okay.
And in the middle, imagine like a volleyball or a basketball size in here, where they will be laying eggs around so they can cluster around them. The queen is always going to be pretty much where the freshest eggs are. So she could move anywhere in the hive. Generally speaking, she'll be hanging out somewhere. The babies are called brood. So she's usually hanging out somewhere in the brood chamber, which is what you would call the area, the nursery basically, where they're raising the babies.
Do you only have these honeycomb slats at the top and the rest of it's open?
This is the same structure all the way down.
Okay,
Just on
okay.
and it's going to be comb all the way down. They're
How
just
do you
using the
get
comb
them?
for
Just
different
take this
purposes.
one
Just
piece
take the
off?
box off.
Okay.
So with this,
Oh,
they're
I see.
using this to fill it with honey. Set down below, it's
Oh,
the same thing, but
sure.
they're using it to raise baby bees instead.
Got it.
That
Let's
down
get your
there,
picture.
Danielle.
That is
So I have done a few
That is-
pictures. I've noticed that unless with the veil, if you're in the shade, you won't be able to see your face. So you want to get out in the sun
Okay.
and have you facing the light.
Okay.
And then Tracy, you're going to take have him take all our pictures with your phone.
So let's come right here. I think this is cool because it'll be a great background shot.
I am fascinated with this.
This is the best
This
ever.
is so cool. You know what? I'm not really scared of bees now anymore.
I
I thought
know.
they always wanted to sting you.
Uh-huh.
Were you scared of them?
No, I'm not
Yeah.
scared of bees, but I always
137.
thought, oh, swat it away or whatever. It doesn't even want to.
No.
And, I love the way that they're fuzzy.
You guys touch him. It's so fun. Just go like that.
Yeah.
Just go like that.
Oh, you can feel them
I
through your
know.
gloves.
Yeah.
Should we talk?
Look at her. Why is she? Uh-oh. She's mad at me. Look at her.
She's not mad at you.
She's not mad at you. She's like, who is this and what do you do?
She's stuck to me, though. No, she just
Look
likes it
at
and they're
him.
fighting.
Plus, you may have gotten some honey on your glove.
I think she did. Say, look.
Okay, next.
I mean, just listen to all that activity. Are there wings
Okay,
constantly moving?
Yeah, that one.
She's a goner. She's a goner. Bye-bye. Poor lady.
Hold it underneath. There you go.
Oh.
my God. I think I hear them buzzing louder.
They're pissed off.
They are not pissed off.
Noel has his hood all filled. Noel is one with the bees.
Thank
Here,
you.
look.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Sure enough.
She stung me, Danielle.
Did she?
Yeah, but it didn't go through my glove, but she was pissed off. Yeah, right there.
Wow. No, wait. Right.
Right here.
Look, right there.
Ooh, there's two of them. Look at this right here. This is the one that he said, yes, she stung you.
Oh,
Fly.
you killed her.
Get away. You can...
Bee murderer.
That is the coolest thing
Come on
ever. Okay, so I guess I don't know because I never knew anything about bees. I thought that the comb was provided by man.
Well, we'll discuss that.
Okay, okay.
If we gather around, can we take a picture
Yeah, of
us
course.
around that?
Yeah, whatever picture you would like, you just let me know.
Let's do it.
But are we? I don't want to be too dark.
Well, let's do a couple. Let's do one just next to the hive.
Yeah, we'll
Then
just,
we
no,
can do
Danielle's
the-
the tallest one with the camera in front of her. This is so cool.
No.
Cool class for
Do you guys feel the need to like close your mouths because you're afraid
Yes.
it's gonna fly in? Yeah. Okay, I'm glad it's not just me. Sweet.
Oh, and
Thank
do you want to get one facing the light too? So
We want a selfie with you.
do that too?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
they are,
Right here. Let's do a selfie real quick.
the noise is the wings moving, just the friction back and forth.
Yep.
And their stinger only comes out when they want to sting because they feel she
Yes.
was really mad at me. She stung me and she's
All right.
dead.
All right, guys. Oh,
Come around.
Ready? Come on.
I can't even see.
Look.
Okay,
I can't even
our,
see.
our hoods are so big, we're in each other's face. We'll be fine.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we got a few good ones there.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
So really, why are they still on this one if it's overflowing?
I don't understand the question.
Like, this is so full, and that they're building a beehive up here. They don't care. They just do it wherever.
They don't like empty
Oh, look,
space.
you guys,
They'll
look,
fill
you
it
guys,
up with
look.
stuff.
They got a dead one. They're fighting. What's the story with this one? What are they doing to this little poor lady?
That's one that's probably coming in that's
and they're
not
like,
from this
"Get it."
hive. So those are guard bees saying, "Hey, lady, like you're in the wrong spot."
Look,
Is she filming
they're
that?
shoving
Is she
her
gonna-
out.
Yeah.
Is she gonna get a chance to leave?
Now look at them. They're saying, "Get out of our house."
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
Oh, there's like bouncers. You're out.
Where'd she go?
That is
Oh, on the
so-
ground?
These two
Ground
fighting
right
too.
there.
Look at those two.
They're still fighting about it. That is
Kicking her out.
so cool. Wow. I mean, seriously. They're still out. But look at this one. They just sit around and they're like waiting and they're saying, "Hey, it's Chili. We don't smell you. Get out." That's Chili right there. Here we go. I'll give her. So fascinating. Okay, this is the front door. This is front and back.
Yep.
I mean, this is the only
Yeah, well, it's yeah. So who was asking about the man-made?
Me.
Okay. If you look here, you will see that this is what most beekeepers use. I am vehemently against this. So this will be a plastic comb that uses foundation, which is, you'll see there's a midrib here. See where there's at the center there of this?
Yeah.
There's a template. It's made of plastic
Okay.
that has a imprint of hexagonal cells. This is it's an individual cell, right? The
Okay.
individual space is called a cell. So if you give them that template, they will actually build to that pattern and use it to draw their comb. You can control the size of the cell. You can control the distribution. See, everything here is just perfectly straight, right? All the cells the same size. Everything's just like It's not how they do it in nature. As a matter of fact, I think that allowing them to structure things in a way that makes sense to them goes a long way towards having healthier, stronger, more resilient bees. I think this is something that in many ways compromises that resiliency in the overall.
That's dumbing them down right there.
Huge.
So you just like the ones that are
Not just the-
completely open, wood with the completely open.
Now it's
top.
a lot more work to do it, but it's so
Okay,
so
so
worth it.
let me ask, so when you start a new season,
Mhm.
you bring in slats that are just wood, and you say, "Have at it," and they just start their thing and start here. and
There's
move on.
more to it than that, but kind of yes.
Didn't you say you put rubber bands?
What's that?
Do you put rubber bands?
Well, that's if you're catching wild bees. If you're
Okay.
buying a package of bees, you
Okay.
just dump them in there.
Oh, they know it.
And they do their thing. So we're going to close this up. And we're going to look at another hive. I don't know if you noticed, but I have different hives. So we're going to go check out one of that other system hives.
And they're gonna. Okay, so these bees
Yes,
will only come to us because this is their house.
more or less.
Can I
Like
handle this
basically,
one?
you can put it right in if you want.
Crazy, get it, girl.
Drop it right in. Gently. Well, I mean, gently
Don't, just
place.
don't drop. That is so incredibly cool. I know. They don't even want a piece of us. They're just like,
No.
She did. Well, I went to touch her. I went to touch her. I went to touch her. I went to touch her and she's like, "Get out of my house."
You had some bad ferment.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to scoot around and get the lid.
And they like the lid on because it keeps it warmer.
Well, yeah, you don't want to just have
rain
your
and
door
stuff.
open,
Yeah.
right?
Got it. Now, will you squish them at all? Or some of them?
There are ways of kind of, if you're just gentle and put it on,
They
most
move.
of them will kind of get the idea and move out of the way.
Except for
But
that one.
I mean,
That one lost his head.
despite your best efforts, you're going to squish a few. It's just
There's enough.
There's no avoiding it.
There's enough.
You do the best you can.
Now, when
Yes.
we leave this and we're done bugging them, will the majority of them go back inside?
Oh,
There
absolutely.
weren't hardly any.
Yeah.
So now, when we started walking this way, you said, "Don't take your hat off." Right, but
Yeah, see, they're following us.
it's a guard. It's a guard. Why will they follow?
Depends on how nasty you
Okay.
are. They're not following us at all,
Danielle has
really.
one on her back. Well,
But
that's okay.
Africanized bees,
Yeah.
they'll follow you for a quarter mile, longer.
Where are Africanized bees found?
Southern United States, warmer area, places where you don't have winter.
Okay. So we might have some in Oklahoma, unless we don't get a hard freeze, or do they even stay more southern than that?
I don't believe that you have them there. And there are maps that will show you what their predicted range is. So on this one, you actually want to walk around to the right of the tree, and you'll see this first hive right here.
So I need to tell Megan, who's my child who's scared of bees, that we don't have Africanized. She got stung by a couple bees when I'm for sure. Yeah, my daughter. We're walking, and
So now she thinks they're all out together. There must be honey always at the door.
So,
Can we come close?
yeah, get right up in there.
Oh,
So,
hates them.
my girlfriend who got me the original hive, she built me the hive herself. She was an organic farm.
Okay.
And we all know how it's exactly. So she had squat, but she had the skills. She could build stuff. She could fix stuff, right? So she actually built me this hive with her own two hands. And it's the way they keep bees in Tanzania and Kenya. So it's in a resource poor environment. Like, it doesn't take long. You can build this out of scrap.
Okay.
So it's called a top bar hive because really you just take these bars, you put them across the top, and then they build comb off the
Oh,
top.
wow.
So there isn't even a frame.
Wow.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Oh, they're smart.
Oh, and you've got them dated. Oh.
That's
So you
cool.
can see they're just building it
That's cool.
Wow.
off of the top.
Wow. Okay, so when you started this one, you bought bees and just stuck them in there, and then they just started mating and reproducing. I mean, within reason,
Something
sort of,
like
kind
that.
of. Okay.
Something like that.
Wow.
Well, the queen's already mated. So
And
she's
you-
already
but
been
So do you
mated.
buy a queen like you would buy a Labrador puppy to mate? I
Yep.
mean, you buy. Okay.
There you go.
How do they know she's mated? Because she's tiny, and you don't grab her and go, "Hey, you got sperm in you?"
I believe that most of them actually artificially inseminate,
Okay.
which I'm not
How do
a
you
fan
do that with a
of,
bee?
but
Okay.
I got to do.
Unless,
Wow.
right, unless
They
you
gotta
see
make
them in the
compromises.
air, what do you say, 150 feet?
Oh, wow, guys, look.
Oh, wow.
No, it gets cooler than that. So I'm going to try to show you some babies.
No. Okay, that one even looks different.
So,
But why is that darker?
just older. You know,
Okay.
if your kids track mud into
Yeah,
the house,
okay.
you know,
Yeah.
they're playing in the. So, here, all right, so when the queen lays an egg, it's an egg for 3 days.
An
Then
egg.
it hatches and it's a larva for 6 days. Larva's like, it's going to be like a little white grub, like a shrimp swimming around
Okay.
in the base of the cell. And then it pupates. When it pupates, basically it's like a caterpillar going into a cocoon and turning into the adult form of a butterfly.
Okay. Wow.
So what you'll see here is, let's try to get it so the light hits it just right. So actually, I'm going to show you each one individually, but it's important that we be able to catch light. So you can see right here, see the larva?
Yeah.
So like the little white grub in there, so that's a larval shrimp. I'm sorry, a larval bee. And
Can you see it
when they
there?
pupate, they seal the cell like this, and you can tell this is honey because of the texture and the color of the capping. But you see here, it's very different and rougher texture, darker color. They actually recycle when they hatch. They'll take that wax, the seal, and they'll recycle it to seal another cell. So it's a totally different color and texture. Those are bees that are pupating.
Okay,
right
so they're
now.
in their little cocoon in here, but this is
Yeah,
honey. They
exactly.
repurpose and
So
recycle.
those are
Oh, no
that's
way.
the larval bee. You'll see them right around here, the little white guys
Oh,
in the middle of
wow.
that. And then this is the pupil bee. You'll see also soap honey across the top. That's just
Yeah.
more honey. Oh my god.
Oh, it's the red.
What does red mean? Did you just eat a bee?
I did not eat a bee.
Wait, why is it red? Just because of the flower?
Told you it was a good time of year to come.
Yeah.
So, actually, remember when I said that everything that it eats comes from a flower?
Uh-huh.
I lied to you. There's
You
a white
wa-
lie.
is that from a cactus?
So, there's certain times of year when there's not a whole lot flowering. There's just not enough food out there for the bees. So, they'll go after any sugar source that they can find.
Uh-huh.
So if there's like somebody drinking soda on a patio, they're all over that
We
soda,
got
right?
red cherry
So,
soda. No.
well, actually, it's happened. There's like a maraschino cherry factory that you can find it online. But so prickly pear cactus,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
there's a time of year when that fruit is there. There's not a whole lot flowering. So if a bird nicks, and I don't know if you've ever seen the fruit on it, it's just like
oh my God,
brilliant.
they're so cool.
It's like the color of your shirt right there, actually.
Yeah.
So it's like brilliant pink. And if a bird comes and nicks, bees can't get through the skin of it, but if a bird comes and nicks the fruit, they can actually get inside of it, and they'll harvest that juice, and they'll bring it back and turn it into honey.
So that's what that is?
That's what that is.
Prickly
Did you know
pear
that?
honey.
Awesome.
I didn't know that it was for that exact one. I knew that there was some in here. I know we're kind of at the tail end of the year when we see stuff like that.
So cool.
Oh, okay. Check this out. Look at it from behind.
Okay.
Like you can see the color right there?
You can see it's all red. That's so cool.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
That's awesome. Like that's
You have a
awesome.
chance
Can
to
you
see
see
it?
it?
Yeah,
Up close?
That is so
around.
cool.
Yeah.
That is something that you're only going to get this time of year.
Okay, this
There's like a
bee
2 or
this
3
is
week
cool.
stretch
Got
where you get
prickly
something like
pear
that.
and
I
babies.
know.
Wow.
She's a friend.
That is
That's
so
awesome.
cool.
Now,
I'm sorry.
do they use
No,
both
you're fine.
sides of that? So this baby, is it in the whole cell or is it a
So
double-sided
it's
cell?
double-sided. There's a cell on this side they can use, and there's a cell on that side they
Okay.
can use. As a matter of fact, the base of the cell, it's kind of like the structure of a quartz crystal. It's 6-sided and actually comes together in a point,
Wow.
like a
Oh,
crystal. So.
cool.
That is so cool. That is so. We're gonna come back tomorrow.
I know.
So let's take a quick look and see if we can't see the queen. Now, one thing is, generally speaking, they'll mark the queen with a dot of paint on her back. I generally don't like this because that's a chemical splotch that she's stuck with for the rest of. Now, that being said, like queens don't live forever, right? So the queen dies and they raise a new queen. That queen's going to mate with whatever male bees from the neighborhood. And around here, there are a bunch of
They want that
bugs.
honey that's still on your lips.
That's actually totally what's happening. So at any rate, so the queen will mate with whatever feral drones are around here. They're nasty. So next
Feral
generation, next
drones.
queen, her children are going to be half like sweet honeybees that we paid with, like the golden retrievers that we paid with money. They're going to be half like the nasty wild bees. Generally, it's not a huge issue right away, but that happens a couple or a few times, and you actually have some really nasty, potentially dangerous bees. So I will requeen, since where we are, I mean, we have neighbors right over there. There's actually an old man who walks his dog. He walks right past the sign that says warning active. Yeah, we're in the class earlier. He comes traipsing along. I'm like, oh. So at any rate, I don't want anybody to get hurt. So even more important than the health of my bees.
God. Lick your lip.
All right, we'll see if that solves it. So at any rate, most important thing is the safety of the guests who come here, of our neighbors, of anybody who might come and help me in the yard. So I have to be sure that we have good sweet bees. So when I get a queen, if it's to correct a safety issue, and the way that you do it is you kill the old queen and you put in a new sweet queen. And after a couple months, well, they call it pinching, actually. So because that's what you do. At any rate, so new queen, her progeny, within a couple months, take over the colony, and you've basically changed the genetics of the hive entirely. If I'm correcting for something that I feel is a safety issue, I will get the queen marked with a dot on her back. Because a lot of times nasty bees, you put in a new queen, they'll kill her right away and try to raise a new one of their own, just because they're like that.
Yeah.
So,
It's gonna go down his throat. So we're gonna have to do an EpiPen or something.
this queen has a dot on her back.
Okay.
So keep an eye. About half the times that we do see a queen, one of the guests, one of you all sees her before I do.
Okay.
Big
What
white
color
dot.
is it? White. Okay.
White dot.
What
Keep an eye out.
What is the? How do you dot it? What is it? Sharpie marker? White out.
Well, basically, there's a little
on
disc
this?
that you put in
Is
that
she
has a
on this
screen
one?
in
How
it.
do you know?
I
Just because it's central?
don't.
Okay.
I don't.
We're looking.
we're all
We're
looking.
looking. And there's no guarantee that we're going to see her either.
We
I
wanna
can't make
see
any
her.
promises.
Please, Jesus, show us the queen.
Okay. Oh, actually, here's something cool before we look at the queen. So, one of the prettiest things in all beekeeping, because remember, they harvest pollen for food too. And different plants pollen in different colors. So there's sometimes a year where it's purple, green, red, orange, yellow, all right next to each other. So right now, it's mostly going to be here. It's mostly going to be yellows and reds and oranges. You can see right there all the pollen.
Oh yeah.
Here, right.
Oh,
They're trying to do it so you can, so it's not in the shadow.
awesome.
That's
And
cool.
you see,
Yeah.
kind of
Wow.
around over here. Oh my God, there's a lot more of that red honey in there too.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's pretty cool.
That's really cool. Yeah. Wow. That's cool.
Here. We're gonna set that aside, so we'll take a little scoop of that before we go and taste it when we go back.
Yeah. I like honey. weird sticking my head in there because I'm like not used to it. Thing on my head. But... Oh.
Oh,
Danielle, that's her.
nice.
Okay, no, wait, let's look at her skin.
Video.
She is bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is.
And she looks like she has a different texture. Body, yeah. She looks more like a
Well, she's pregnant.
There's the
termite or
queen.
something, you know?
The white dot.
Now, what would you say the white dot? How did you do that?
So you take a disc that has like legs in it, right? And then it has a screen in the top with holes about this. I don't do it.
Okay.
The supplier does it.
Okay.
But this is how he does it. So you put the screen in, the legs go in. There's this little disc that kind of holds her in place. It gives her enough room to move around.
Okay.
But with the screen, it's just big enough for you to put a marker through. And when she's under the right spot, you just give her a little dab.
One of her wings is longer than the other. It sort of looks like.
Yeah, no, actually, that is absolutely
damage?
the case. I don't know. I mean, well, she doesn't really fly much,
Yeah.
so it's not a huge issue. And she's
She
doing her
doesn't have
job. She's
stripes
laying,
across her
so.
back.
Yeah, but this is actually a breed that's been bred to be predominantly yellow,
Okay.
which is one of the reasons why I like them. Because you can tell coming and going. Like, it's a recessive trait. So if she dies, and they raise a new queen, that queen mates with the feral bees. The feral population doesn't have the gene for yellow. So I can tell
So
just
you'll
by
know.
looking at the door. If they're all yellow coming and going, I know I have the same queen. If they're not yellow, then I know my queen has died because she can only produce yellow offspring, or predominantly yellow offspring.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So she is laying eggs as we speak. No,
Or no, because it's not the right season.
No, she's laying right now. She's not laying a whole lot. There wouldn't be babies in there.
Right.
Right? Because it's an egg for 3 days and it's a larva. So
Right.
she
So
laid those
but-
eggs at least within the last 5 days.
So she wanders around and just goes to each cell that she wants to lay an egg and does her thing and
Bingo.
leaves. Okay.
Exactly. Is there anything that I mentioned or talked about that you wanted to see before we close the hive up? Before we scoop a little honey, a little of that pink honey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well then let's go ahead and harvest a little honey. We do this at the end because the second that it's in here, they're going to be on it like they're on this. So we'll,
Yeah, like
we'll
they're on
harvest
your
it and then.
Huh?
That's freaking me out.
I know.
That is. I mean,
But it just goes to show you, like bees.
take them off. I
They
cannot
don't
wait to
wanna
show
hurt
baby
ya.
Jackson's. Let me show my picture.
All right. Do me a favor. If you would.
Oh, wow.
You know, see, they're on it already.
Wow.
Make sure we get a real taste. Okay.
Now, can you eat the comb?
You
And, like,
can, but it's like
it's-
gum.
okay.
So, like, if you swallow it, it'll just pass right through you.
Okay.
Or you can just chew on it for a bit. It's kind of fun to chew on and just spit it out.
But I didn't think it would hurt you. It's just wax from
Just
their
wax.
bellies.
Not going to hurt you in the least.
So I might have somebody follow. Yeah, what is you? Nice. Thanks, Noel.
No, you'll be fine.
I have a stinger in me. So I've got some.
You have your glove has a stinger.
I have a
in it.
stinger
You do
in me,
not
and
have
I'm
a
gonna
stinger
say it.
in you. All right, ladies, you get off of that. Sorry, honey. You got enough of your own. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
See, and that's the door. And they're like, step off. So, how old would you say something like that is?
Guys,
They've been working on
watch.
Oh, you're doing it right now?
Oh,
Doing what?
Oh, no, he's just
Oh.
covering it.
I
Oh,
thought.
I'm just covering it.
Okay, I was
I
going to
just
say, what are you
want to make sure that it makes it back to the. They'll slurp it all up.
doing? How long do you think something like that's been hanging out? This little hive, the little. It's a tiny one like this big.
Like this big.
How long?
Did it take them to make that?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on what time of year. Basically, if there's a lot of resources out there and they don't have enough room to store the honey that's coming in, they'll build a new comb to create more storage space. Then at this time of year when there's not a lot of food coming in, they're going to stop building because there's no reason for them to invest the resources into building more space. You
Okay.
wouldn't add another room to your house if you didn't have
All your
a
kids
cause
left.
for it,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Exactly. So basically, that would be towards the end of spring. When resources stop coming in, they just stop building.
Okay.
So that probably they would have built, I'm guessing. Well, actually, there's a date right there, April 20th.
Okay, so. Uh-oh, get off. They're going to be squished. So,
No, they're gonna.
will they if you don't clean that out and do it, will they come and just keep using or reuse. Like, say that there wasn't enough, and you scraped off all that honey, but you left a couple. But new bees will just continue to keep growing that, right?
Yep.
You just keep using the comb until you get rid of it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, you want to go back and taste a little pink honey?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's do it.
That thing is so cool. I didn't know that they look like that. I thought they were all in. So what's the deal with the big fat bee that everybody said? Aren't these the things you get just a different breed? They call her a honeybee. Like the big round circular. You know, like people go, oh, that's the queen bee, and I've seen them before. They're big and huge. Like
You just like flying around?
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's a different species of
Okay,
bee.
but they was bigger. Does every species of bee, the all 400 or whatever you said, 4,000, do they all operate the exact same?
No.
Oh.
Not at all. As a matter of fact, there are a dozen or so that would form complex social structures,
Oh.
like you see in here. Really 6 that build comb and out of wax and store honey like we're seeing
Okay,
here.
so only the 6 honeybees do that.
I believe so.
Oh, okay.
I know that it's unusual in bees.
What's a yellow jacket?
So a wasp, which is
And they're completely different.
they're related but distant.
And they don't do anything but sting people. No, they
So they're just
pollinate.
jerks.
Yeah, I don't like
Honeybees pollinate our crops and give us honey. Wasps are just jerks.
Okay. I got stung by a yellow jacket once on between my fingers, and it hurt like crap.
Yeah, it's not pleasant. I actually a couple years ago taken a bite of an apple and set it on a table outside. And there were a couple of wasps on it. So I picked it up, shoot off the wasps, and bit into the apple. And when I shoot them off, it must have startled them to a point where they squirted some venom onto the apple. So I actually got like the venom in my mouth. It
Wow.
was mild, it wasn't awful, but I mean it was definitely a bizarre sensation.
Couldn't breathe for a while. It's finally yeah. But so wasps, are they kin to the bees at all?
Well, they're in the same family. The
Okay.
family ants, wasps, and bees are all in the family of Hymenoptera.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, well, think about it. They have a lot in common. They all form
Yes.
social structures.
I hate
They all
ants, though.
collectively rear young. They all have the capacity to develop stingers, at least in some of the species.
Yeah.
So there's a lot in common.
Okay.
But they're still distantly related. But related. And we're clear for taking things off.
Okay.
Now, how
Look
would
at
you
my back.
know?
You got some followers.
How would you know?
Or they just smell the honey.
Yeah. Okay, now Noel, if somebody was following us, would it be 1 or 10 or 100? I mean, how do you know, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Black
1,000?
cloud
No, I'm being
bees descending upon our
like
face.
so we can take these out. I know we're followers, so we are like.
Affiliated.
No, but I'm serious.
Oh,
They
oh,
would-
there goes one.
Yeah, but
They're just smelling the honey.
they're not threatened by you.